So we've still got essentially 10 spots in the top 25 preseason that we're not comfortable placing those teams. It gives an indication of how fluid everything is. But who are the SEC teams that are being considered for maybe not even just those 10 spots, but maybe the next 10? So, the glut there in like I told you off air, man, I don't 5 through 12. I mean, interchange them. I mean, I can't tell a difference between many of these. So I would imagine you got several SEC teams that are kind of hovering in your top 25 range early for next season.
Absolutely. I think that's the storyline for me going into the next season for the SEC. It feels like who the teams at the top are going to be, but I think there is, Georgia and Alabama are both going to be breaking in new quarterbacks, and Tennessee will as well. LSU's got a great quarterback room. Mississippi State and Arkansas have great quarterback situations, but they're also, I think, kind of in the middle of the SEC. So I think there's some intrigue as to see how this all looks in a few weeks once the roster is finalized. I think there's a case for Ole Miss to be in the top 25 along with Mississippi State. I think we'll see how Zach Arnett's coaching staff shakes out, whether or not they make any more additions to the portal. I think it's safe to say Ole Miss will probably be looking for portal help now and throughout the offseason. But Jackson Dart, Quinshad Judkins coming back is a pretty good place to start next season. I think you can make a case for South Carolina, Kentucky, or Arkansas in the top 25. You may say those teams have question marks. They do. Everybody else in college football has a ton of question marks once you get outside like the top 15 or so. If Spencer Rattler comes back at South Carolina, I think South Carolina moves from a potential maybe to probably a most likely top 25 team. I love the KJ Jefferson, Rocket Sanders pairing on offense, but need to see more from the defensive side of things. And for Kentucky, great job in the portal with Devin Leary and some of the other pickups. Would love to see what happens with the offensive line. And of course, Justin Rogers transferring too probably hurts them as well. So I think the middle of the SEC is really fascinating because you can make a case for probably 5 more teams to be either ranked or in that 20 to 35 range right outside the top 25.
What about A&M? Because I'm sure they're going to get some buzz and, going into what will be year 5 for Jimbo. Should they be ranked in the top 25 and perhaps they'll play even better if they're not without the expectations? What's your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I'll buy your point of maybe being under the radar probably helps them a little bit, especially after this season. I think there should be something to prove in 2023, just after finishing 5-7 and missing on a bowl game. I probably have them closer to 30 to 40 right now, not knowing who the offensive coordinator is going to be. Would like to see a few more additions through the portal at either receiver or in the secondary. I think they're off to a good start of getting some guys in the secondary, especially Sam McCall, who was a big-time recruit at Florida State, who really didn't play that much. So I think they're on the right track, but I also think that there's a lot of questions with this team. I would be surprised if somebody has them in the top 25, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these over the next couple of weeks. But I also think that if you wanted to make a case, you could say they've still got a lot of roster talent. If Connor Wigman and the new coordinator really hit in year 1, there's definitely some upside. So I think they're probably in the wild card category of falling somewhere probably in the 30 to 40 type range for me right now.